What's up, all y'all? I'm going to attempt to film replacing light bulbs on a dash. So the two were burnt out by the speedometer. You could kind of tell how that would be a problem going down the road. Ooh, I'll knock that over. I'm going to show you how to solder these little guys. You don't have to be a great solderer. I'm not. I've had a little experience. All right, so we got a package of replacement bulbs right here. I'm working on a Silverado dash. I took the dash apart, the gauges. Really easy to do on these. I'm using some silver bearing lead-free solder. Seems to stick real good to these, to the existing solder on the board. So you're gonna take your hot soldering iron, be careful, it's hot, and you're gonna put it next to the pin where the solder is. And what that's gonna do is kind of re-liquefy it and allow you to just pop that guy right off. I already did one side, then I did the other. See if we can get a good look at this. There we go. Sorry, my hands are shaking. Too much caffeine, guys. Look at those fingers. That's crazy. But anyways, there's your two pins for your light bulb. What we're gonna do to get that out is just, let me see on the camera here. We're just gonna grab the little tabs and pull them backwards. There we go, got that other one. And then pull up, and there's our light bulb. Our light bulb just sits in here, and the pins wrap around that groove. Pretty simple, right? So you just basically send in power through a light bulb. So we'll grab a light bulb out of our package. So if you wanted new gauges, I think the gauge set for this is like 300 bucks. And you don't want to like drive with a flashlight duct taped to your dash. You want your light bulbs to work again. What you got to do, it was very obvious. The two bulbs, I already replaced one. The two bulbs were dark, like a blown out light bulb. So we got our bulb here. We're gonna bend the pins. You might want to wear some gloves while you do this, so that our pins are like straight out almost, and press the bulb into its housing with the pins going into their two grooves. As we press down on the light bulb, the pins come up in the air like a little guy with his hands thrown up celebrating. And then we bend these tabs around into their homes, their little grooves. I'm at like 3 times magnification on a new phone, so filmage might not be as good, but it's all right. Go, give her a little squeeze, and there's our tangs, our little pins there. You can see they're too long. They're supposed to go in these little holes, these little divots. So we're gonna take, I got these laying right here, little side snips. I'm just gonna trim 2 millimeters off the edge there, or so. And these are pretty dull. You're not even cutting this thin metal. That's crazy. Come on, baby. Let's get them trimmed up. I'll show you how to disassemble gauges to get down to the circuit board. It's all right. It kind of cut through enough to make them like bend. Here we go. Now they're not touching each other. We can't have them touching each other, and that's what we're worried about. Now I'm going to take a small amount of my solder and small amount of my solder and dab it on these pins. Don't burn yourself. Kind of like dab it. I need to get a drop of solder. Just a little bit, not much. I'm just gonna get a little bit on my soldering iron here. Here we go. There's just a little smidgen on there. It won't focus on the camera. Plus I'm shaking, so. There's just a little smidge. And we're gonna dab that on these pins, if it'll stick to them. Here we go. Get a little solder started on that. Let's do the same thing for the other pin. Maybe a little bit of flux paste would have made it stick better, but these solders are not going to take abuse. They're going to be bolted down in gauges. As long as we got electricity flowing through them, these bulbs are going to light up. Here we go, got just the smallest amount there and there. And that's going to liquefy as I smush down. So, we got to line up where the previous one was on this board, those 4 little pins. It's easy to tell because you still have the grooves from desoldering. And we're going to line it up. Once I get it close, doesn't have to be perfect. Knock that little ball of solder off my iron. I don't want too much. And I'm going to put my soldering iron right on that pre-existing solder. Just heat everything up. I'm not doing a very good job today. I'm shaky. I tried this coffee drink and it was like disgusting. I think it had a lot of caffeine in it. Ooh, it's getting a little toasty near my fingertips there. Move my finger back just a hair. I'm trying to re-liquefy the solder that's on the board and the solder we added and get them to mingle, have a little party. And we're gonna put a little pressure down on the bulb and try to re-liquefy this guy so the other pin is connected. And we're not real flush here. I'm gonna add a little more solder. I did not have this much trouble on the other one. I got it to stick right away. Should have added a little flux. It's okay. I've got all day. No hurry. What is going on with my soldering iron? It's cooling off. I might have to give it a cleaning. I gotta give it a cleaning. I had a pretty good grip on that other tab, but I broke it off by putting downward pressure. Let's see if we can get a good look on this board. Yeah, I got a lot of solder on that side. I like it. This solder stuck to the existing solder very nicely. So all the solder is now on the board pretty much. Let's get this tab to work for us though. There's no way I'm gonna get that tab to work for me unless I add a little solder to it. So I'll get this side soldered back down. Oh my God, you can't even see anything on the camera. Can we go this way? We're working on this one. All right. All right, let's liquefy this sucker. All right, it's smushed. We're gonna get the little tip of my soldering iron down there. I see a good connection, but not a strong connection. There we go. It just does not want to stick to the pin at all. All the solder just wants to smush, not attached to the pin at all. Oh, you gotta be kidding me right now. Get back over here, you little drop. Let that solidify. Raise my finger off. There, we got a good connection there. And I want to add a little more to this side. So to get a nice little drop on here. Run it up the pin, reliquefy everything, let it dry a second. Move it around a little. Yep, it's solid. There we go. Like I said, I'm not a real good solderer. I don't have good equipment, just a cheap $2 solderer, a couple rolls of solder. All right, here we go. Here's the two bulbs that we did. Let's zoom out. There we go. You can see I kind of rolled it up that side of the pin just to guarantee a good connection. Right there I got a nice little bubble, and big old bubbles there. I actually did a really nice dot right there, and they're all solid. Yep. And those bulbs should all work for us again. Now this display I couldn't fix. So yeah. Here's where our gauges came out of. Right here. So here's the side that the circuit board the plate the circuit board goes into. So I'm going to set the circuit board into this right here. So it goes on, like that. Just, I'm going to set these gauges onto the circuit board. Got a bunch of stuff in my way, but it's all good. Boom. All right, then our needles go in their spot. You press down on them, but we're gonna make sure the needles are all bottomed out where they were when we took them off. And this whole gauge set was only put together with clips. See all these clips? So all I have to do is smush it all together. Boom. It's so easy to put back together. So once all my needles are on, see those little tangs on the side? Right here, these little edges. So the little reset is gonna go through the hole here, and those tangs are gonna clip onto those, boom. And then we flip it over and snap the backside in. One wiring harness right in the middle top, which connects to the vehicle that was right there, but I pulled it outside. That about does it. Soldering some light bulbs in. Good times.